Wakanda forever. Welcome, fellow geeks and geekettes around the world. We're back. This is Marvel Revisited, of course, the podcast where we rewatch and rank every MCU movie in order. And if you couldn't guess from that intro, Eric, what is the movie that we're revisiting today?
Yeah, let me see if I can actually get it out of my face right. Today, we will be revisiting Black Panther.
Taken down by YouTube.
And a quick side note, like, by the way, congratulations, everybody. 100 subscribers.
Woo!
Oh,
We
yeah.
did it!
Thank you.
We did it.
Thank you so
We
much.
did a couple streams.
101.
We're
Is
at
it 101 now?
Yeah.
That's
Man,
awesome.
that's just today.
No,
No,
I think it happened yesterday when we got 101.
that's awesome.
Or the day before. Anyway,
I saw that Ragnarok has already had like 300 something views, so that is so cool. Thank you guys for
really?
watching this.
That's amazing.
It's really awesome.
It was me 300 times.
And just so you guys know, most of the time I don't introduce these guys because they're in every show, and by now you probably should know who they are. But if you don't know, of course, this is Who's Yo Daddy, Nate Camacho, and the scruffy looking one, Eric Witzka, and I am Winnie. So, but
there's probably they probably learned our names just to say, "Oh God, not these guys again." Like I feel like out there is just like these people that can stand at least one of just want to watch one of them.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now, Eric, with the music.
Yeah, right.
Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, it's just one of us is just like killing it for somebody out there. It's just like, man, there's something about this person.
I have to listen to everything they're on, you know?
Look at Nate. Look at it. He thinks it's him.
No,
It's not me. I'm the fumbling one. I'm the fumbling one.
Yeah, whatever. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes. Today, Black Panther, of course, released in the U.S. February 16th, 2018. Runtime of 134 minutes. Budget of $200 million and box office of $1.3 billion. Directed by Ryan Coogler, written by Ryan Coogler and Joe Robert Cole. And
this movie could have gone with like another 100 million in the budget, I think.
Dude, yeah. But speaking of, before we do anything, already introducing Marvelous Facts.
Marvelous Facts!
Black Panther is the first movie in the MCU to have its opening weekend domestic box office surpassed its production cost by this time. It might have happened later, but at the time of Black Panther's release, it was the first. It cost $200 million to make, and its Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday opening weekend domestic box office was $202 million. Black Panther is the highest grossing non-Avengers film in the MCU and the 9th highest grossing film of all time.
That can't be true anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it is true anymore.
Spider-Man freaking kill?
Yeah,
like literally kill.
No Way Home did amazing. But like that is a huge statement, to how popular this movie was. I remember when this movie first came out, it was like you could not escape it. I know a lot of people that went to see this movie
when
multiple times.
MTV and VH1 do their like the 2010s or teens in retrospect, like this movie will have like its little section.
Oh yeah. But anyways, let's start it off with the big old question, the big one.
Big one.
Eric, how many times have you seen Black Panther? Did anything change rewatching it?
I can tell you. I mean, sorry, I'm trying to stay away from the Wakanda
Thank
voice.
you. That's also
I
Jamaican. Oh yeah, by
I
the
know
way,
it's
they speak Xhosa, which is an
Sosa
African language.
Mhm.
dialect, yeah.
XHOSA.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
And
that's not meant to be disrespectful. I've talked this about Winnie before. Like I just love different voices, and they just come out. Some of them are
You should
stereotypical. No harm meant to anybody. I'm sorry if I do offend. Um,
you should watch
let's
our streams. We do good voices. Me and
it's
Winston.
true. It's true. Yeah.
You've
Not
been
me
missing
and
out.
Winston. How dare you?
No. I'm talking about the streams that me and Winston just did like last night, and then I did a couple nights ago.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, okay.
uh,
Getting back on track. Sorry. This is being my second time seeing this movie.
okay.
Um, yeah, it's everything I remembered it from the first time. Solid story. Um, great characters. Um, one of the best. We'll get to it, but one of the best villains, I think, in the MCU. So, yeah, it's a good movie. Still not like top. I don't know, maybe close to top five, but it's up there, but not up there. So yeah, I liked it.
Interesting. Interesting. It's up there, but not up there. All right, gotcha. I feel
Or
you.
maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe I'm wrong, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, foot in my mouth.
Nate. Oh, by the way, quick side note to the language that they speak. The actual actor that plays T'Challa's father, actually, that's his first language. With the language,
No,
I can't.
the old man, not the
Yes,
younger version.
yes, exactly. The old Black Panther.
Find out
Um,
where he's from.
but Nate, how many times have you seen Black Panther? Did anything change rewatching it?
I think we're at 4 now at this
Oh
one
wow. Okay.
That's
because
high
I
for you.
watched it when it came out, and then I know I watched it at least one more time. I don't know, just because I liked it or something. I don't know. And then I remember watching it with Wesley and his family, because I think Deanna hadn't seen it or his family hadn't seen it.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
now I watched it a fourth time. Kaylin's first time watching it somehow.
What?
Yeah, I think she'd
Whoa.
had the MCU fatigue at this point,
Oh yeah.
so she just skipped this one.
What'd she think? I'm curious.
Hey babe, what did you think of Black
Or
Panther?
just have her come to the mic if she's not busy.
It was good. No, she's doing something.
Okay. It was good.
It's a bad one to have fatigue for.
I also completely forgot that she hadn't seen it. I was like already spoiling stuff like as soon as the movie was beginning, because she was asking questions and I was just assuming that she didn't remember. But yeah, she definitely liked it.
There was some things I forgot too. But I guess we'll get into that later.
Yeah, surface level thoughts. Like I liked it. I like it. It does a couple things really, really good, and then like one thing that I personally think is really bad. But that's about it.
Interesting.
Nate, I think we might be on the same page. Is it CG related? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why
as
I
well.
say they need another $100 million for
yeah,
budget.
because CG is
just to
expensive.
get
But
that
yeah, I
right.
completely agree. The whole CG in this movie is just like not good. Same for me. I'm in Eric's boat. This is my second time watching it. I remember watching it. I'm like, hey, it's an MCU movie. I'm gonna go watch it. And walking out and be like, that was better than I thought it would be. And everyone was like, this is the best movie of all time. Like, whoa, like, hold on. And they're like, it's the best Marvel movie ever. And I still, again, this is like another Thor Ragnarok where a whole bunch of people put it in their number ones, number twos, number threes. And I'm just like, I don't feel it. Like, I respect it, but I personally don't think it's that high. But yeah, you guys are totally right. Like the things that they do right in this movie, they do really well. And I've got like a mountain of freaking marvelous facts. This movie is incredibly unique, and it's something completely different for the MCU. And we've honestly haven't really gone back to the vibe. So I'm interested in if in Wakanda Forever, if they can match it, because I have the feeling that they're not going to be able to. That this is just it's going to be a stamp in time, and it's never going to like.
I think they will, dude. I think a lot of the reason why this is what you're saying is because of that director writer who is also doing Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I guess my biggest concern is like now, like one of the coolest things in my opinion on this movie is Killmonger and Black Panther. Like both of them and their dynamic is so cool and so unique, and now we don't have either of them. And I'm like, what is this movie even gonna feel like? You know? So
The
but
thing
we'll
is,
see.
like, for me personally, um, this movie at its core, is about African American and Black people and their struggle, and there's so much stuff right there,
True.
and there's so many other good actors already in this movie, and then other good actors that you can bring in. So
True.
as long as they have a good theme and a good narrative, they can
On
do a lot.
on that thought, who do you guys think they're gonna bring in to take the mantle up?
I think they've already confirmed it, haven't they?
Shuri, right? Isn't it gonna be Shuri?
I think it's
Is it?
Shuri, and then I
Yeah.
read somewhere that towards the end, like M'Baku takes it.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
that's. I was gonna
Yeah.
say if anybody
Umbaku
takes
would
it,
be dope.
M'Baku is awesome.
I love
Mm-hmm.
that, bro.
Uh okay. Let's get into ranking the things, and of course starting off with MCU importance. Where do we think this goes in MCU importance? Should I list the top 5? Or
Yeah,
the top
this is
half?
very important
Yeah.
going forward.
We have Avengers, Civil War, Age of Ultron, Doctor Strange, Guardians, Winter Soldier, Thor Ragnarok, and
Fine
Thor.
putting it. Well, what does your guys' gut say?
My first gut reaction is to put it right under Guardians, because it's not as important as Guardians. Guardians gives us a whole world,
Yeah, but
universal
Thor
stuff and
also
everything.
does that.
Sure, but Guardians gives us a whole different take on that with like the spaceships and stuff like that. Where this gives us a whole different whole different flavor of the Earth. And honestly, this movie Black Panther is like there's a lot of isn't the in Infinity War, don't they fight on Wakanda?
Yeah, they do.
So like it is important, and if you didn't watch this movie and you go into Infinity War, there are going to be things that you miss, some things that you're going to be confused about. So it is important.
On a new characters that matter to different degrees.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, it's a tough one for me. Because I'm trying to think. I mean, we lose our villains; they're no longer around. We lose um, T'Chaka, but that's already happened.
Yep.
Um, let me see. I mean, pretty much the only thing that's memorable is them coming out of hiding and using their
Yeah, but that has a
technology.
huge effect on the universe. Like, there's arguments to be made that Tony wouldn't have a nanosuit without them coming out.
Yeah, but are we there yet where he has a nanosuit? Like,
What
I
do you
feel.
mean?
No, he doesn't, because another quick marvelous fact is that despite being released 2 years after Civil War, the events of this film takes place a week after the events of that film.
Yeah, so I
So
mean, it
Oh, yeah,
is
I guess it
important.
does.
It is important later on in the MCU, like when he was saying like the battle takes place on Wakanda and the nanosuit and all that. But like at this point, like I feel like we should rate it like from what we have so far, not what we're gonna get.
Okay, but I still feel like it establishes the Earth as a bigger heavy hitter,
Oh, I
Mhm.
definitely agree with you.
which is a big deal.
So
Because
where
like
was
before this movie comes out, it's like, okay, Thanos is coming to Earth and it's just going to be the Avengers fighting him.
yeah.
And then this movie comes out and it's like, okay, we don't know they're going to be fighting in Wakanda, but we know Wakanda is going to be doing something.
Yep.
Yeah. So what was after Guardians?
After Guardians is Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Before Guardians is Doctor Strange.
I could see it after Guardians.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, sweet. Making Black Panther the new number 6 in importance. Now, let's do the big one. The one I've been waiting for this for a while. Villain. Let's rank Killmonger, guys. And before we do, let's spit a few facts here for you. So
Eric Killmonger.
I have three different marvelous facts to get through.
Marvelous facts.
I'm sorry. I was swirling my drink down here. I'm like, yeah,
Cool.
he's going to give us some facts.
To prepare for this role, Michael B. Jordan kept to himself while he was on set, reasoning that his character, Killmonger, is distant and in conflict with the other characters. Interesting. Killmonger's statement, "The sun will never set on the Wakandan Empire," is taken directly from the saying about the British in the 19th century. The British Empire had colonies on almost every continent around the globe. The sun was always shining on some geographic part of the empire. T'Challa directly points out this fallacy to Killmonger when he says, you want to see us become just like the people you hate so much, divide and conquer, just as they did.
Wow.
And two more.
I feel like those aren't marvelous facts. Like these are the first one, yeah, but that one's like pretty obvious. Like, hasn't everybody heard that about the British Empire?
I hadn't. I'm learning new stuff right now.
Yeah.
You go back to school.
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The scars on Eric Killmonger's body are a form of body modification called scarification, a dying tradition carried out by some African tribes. Some tribes use it as a form of identity, social status, and some to mark milestone achievements in life. For Killmonger, each scar represents someone he had killed. Him doing this to his body can also be seen as a misguided way for him to connect with his African ancestry.
Very cool look. Excellent character design.
Yeah, he looks so cool. And last but not least, when Killmonger breaks the spear he's holding to make it a handheld weapon before he starts his challenge with T'Challa, it's a nod to the African warrior Shaka Zulu, one of the most famous military leaders in history. He couldn't understand why the Zulus would throw away their spears in battle, so he developed a short stabbing spear.
Sweet. Quick question. Do you know if Michael B. Jordan is a method actor?
I don't think he always is.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Like picks and chooses then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I know he goes hard for like some roles, but other roles he's just like, yeah, just be acting. Yeah, Creed he goes real hard in.
Yeah, because I mean, isolating yourself from the rest of the cast is a very method actor thing. So
yeah.
But yeah, where are we putting Killmonger, and what did you think of him?
He okay, now we're getting into the opposite of what I was talking about last time with was it Hela we were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're all about relatability. This guy you can relate with. Like you feel for him. Like you find out that his dad was killed and then who did it, and he was just left. Yep. Which is messed up, man. Like how easy it could have been for T'Chaka just to be like, okay, I had to do that, but I don't have to leave my nephew behind. So easy enough. He could have just, this thing happened. You're coming with me. Like you can hate me or whatever, but still you're coming with me. But so I totally see where he's coming from. Like I don't agree with the level of hostility, but like I can get why this guy is angry and wants some sort of revenge. Mm-hmm. So I love it. I love the character development. I love the dude is just BA. So he reminds me of like Winter Soldier, but just I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Wakandan, but not Wakandan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's so cool.
I think that even T'Challa can even sense, like, he can even be like, hey, I see where you're coming from, but I can't let you do this still, you know? And I feel like that, for me in particular, is what makes a great villain, is when they're the heroes of their own story. And like, this is just, yeah, he's, for me in particular, he's going number one. Like, I love Killmonger. I think
Wow.
he's amazing. From just the opening scene with him in the museum, and then right after that, shortly after that, where it's just like he shoots his girlfriend. He's like, he's willing to do whatever it takes, and he is prepared. He's very angry, but he's also smart. You know, he knows everything he needs to do, and he executes without any hesitation. It's like, man, this guy is just like, I could see this version of Killmonger becoming some sort of anti-hero if he didn't die in this movie, you know? Where it's just like, because he still has some sort of morality, you know? He's just been, you know, thrown around his whole life that he's like, no, this ends here. I'm taking my spot now. What do you think, Nate?
Yeah, dude. There's absolutely an argument to be made right now that he's the number one villain. Because, like, he's the full package, you know? He's physically imposing. He's entertaining to watch. He's swagger, dude. He's just like a cool guy.
Yep.
He's got a great look, like we were talking about earlier. And yeah, like his motivations and his reasonings, like they're not stupid. They're deep, like you guys said. They're relatable, and his performance too is really really good. Like in certain moments, Michael B. Jordan is just like, dang, bro, that was so freaking awesome. You know, like his final moment is just so good, dude. And yeah, dude, honestly, I personally think it was a mistake that they had him die. You know, I wish they would have left it open ended
Yeah.
because because I don't know if having him go the anti-hero route would have been right. Um, but definitely like the reluctant, like villainous ally route. I think that would have been great. You know, where it's like, oh, we're in a bad spot. We need help. I guess we'll go to him. Like, how awesome would have been?
Yep. Yep.
And you know that at some point he's going to try and steal power, but you still need his help for whatever reason.
Well, also it would be cool. They're I don't know what route they're going. It seems like they're going Thunderbolts or what am I trying to say? What's the other Dark Avengers
Yeah.
route with the shows and what's her face recruiting everybody. So
Elaine
we have
Dennis.
yeah right. So we have like a dark Scar no what not Scarlet Witch dark Black
Black
Widow.
Widow.
We have a dark Captain America. So I mean, if he was still around, we could have had our dark
Black
Black
Panther.
Panther. So I mean, that would have been cool. But yeah, now we don't get that.
And at the very end, right before he dies too, T'Challa's all like, "Hey man, maybe we can still heal you and everything." And I'm like, "Man, I wish they just would have
Right.
answered it." And then, you know, there would still be that possibility. Another one that I actually forgot to read that I feel like is helpful for this conversation as well. Another marvelous fact is when Njabu and James Zuri talk over the paperwork at the beginning of the film. So T'Chaka's brother and the other guy talk over the paperwork at the beginning of the film. They're trying to figure out a way to break the woman Njabu fell in love with out of prison. The idea is that they never got her out, so she passed away in prison, leaving Killmonger without a mother as well.
Man, I never knew that. I always thought like, you know, his mom might have not been fully in the picture, but you know, she was somewhere. But
I
that makes
thought
sense.
I thought that they were just doing like a bank heist or something. It never clicked on me that they were trying to get her out of prison. I was like, man,
Yeah, that never clicked for me either.
Yeah. But yeah, that's another scene where he freaking shines when he's in the astral plane with his dad. So
God.
good. shout out to that actor who played his dad too.
Yeah.
He is a phenomenal actor. You know, I've seen him in a couple other things, and again, like when you have such quality in like such tiny aspects of your film, like that's really really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, that guy with his couple scenes was like stand out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I would have loved him to see him play was Miles Morales' uncle as
Oh yeah,
Prowler.
Yeah.
yeah. He's not in everything I've seen him. He's never played a straight bad guy,
Yeah.
but yeah. I mean,
Well,
Prowler
yeah,
isn't
Prowler
always
is
a
an,
straight bad guy. So I would have
yeah,
loved to
so
seen his where it's like very forlorn and. But we have Miles Morales' uncle. It's
Mm-hmm.
freaking Childish Gambino,
yeah.
which is also
So,
really good.
so we'll see. a
Um,
little
Yeah,
different.
so give us the list. He's like top two, I think. We'll see.
Loki, Baron Zemo, Vulture, Hela,
Yeah.
Ultron.
Baron Zemo's close, you know, but he just doesn't have as much as this guy has, you know, like even with what we get in the future. But like this guy, he's more understandable. Like you kind of want, like yes, Zemo has a good motivation for what he's doing, and but this guy's is just as valid, if not more. And
Yep.
then we also get to see him freaking kick booty, dude, way
Yeah.
more than we ever get to see Zemo.
That's true.
And
I
I
like
also
And
has I think a better character design as well.
better character design. And honestly, like the actor who plays Baron Zemo does a good job, but I think Michael B. Jordan just kills it in this role, dude. He's
it.
so good.
Can I? Would it be the same if they actually introduced Zemo for you with the mask?
Yeah, it
Would
would be. The mask does right now when I'm talking about that he's not as he's better than Zemo.
yeah?
I'm talking about including what we get in Falcon and the
Oh,
Winter
okay.
Soldier.
Okay.
I honestly do think that the acting. I both think that they're equally talented actors. And the only reason Michael B. Jordan wins is just because he has more to work with. But I feel like if they had given Zemo more to work with, because he does great with the little bit that he does have to work with.
Yeah.
But he's definitely above Zemo, and Loki's tough, dude.
For,
Bro, it's
yeah.
right there, dude.
I can understand being number two, but it's gonna. Your guys are gonna have to break that one because Loki's number one for me.
Okay.
Thing is, like they're both like just so entertaining to watch. But think I think Loki is a little bit more entertaining to watch. But I mean, we're talking about villains here. You know, we're not talking about characters in general. Because Loki gets better with time. Like he already starts out super strong, but he does get better with time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. I think it is Killmonger. I think he's just a better villain.
Heck yeah. Yeah, dude.
Is he the new? Is he the new number one then?
He's the new number one. Come on, dude. He's like, after watching this movie, I was like, holy crap. Like, I remember walking out of the theater. That was my best takeaway about this movie. It was just like Killmonger was awesome.
Yeah.
And
And for me, it's not only the relatability.
Mhm.
Like he's also like it's just such an awesome character design. He has such an awesome fighting style. The acting is so good. So it's like the relatability just pushes it over the top.
I wanted to talk about like how this movie they do so good, and it's making me understand more why people have this on their like, top 5 MCU movies of all time, is because almost every character in this movie is a three-dimensional character. They all have motive. There is no I'm just doing it because I'm doing it. Well, I take that. I feel like there is with Claw, but
Claw's the only one.
other than that, like and I don't like Claw in this. I've realized I never really liked the character of Claw, but everyone else is so good. From Shuri to his mom to M'Baku, like they all have motive with what they're doing, and they are so creative with the story and just the world in general. Like I remember that one scene right when they're all about to go to the first trial by combat or whatever it's called. Sorry, the ceremony, the crowning ceremony, and they're all doing the dance, and then the I just forgot their names.
The Mountain Tribe.
No, the
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 bald, the bald chicks.
Dora Milaje, the
Melagi.
Dora Milaje. They
Dora
they bang their spears and it like sends a wave through the water, and then that's what ignites. Like, I'm just like, wow, just the creativeness with how they built Wakanda is so cool, and the ship design, like everything is just like they did a really good job with thinking about what would make this unique, what would make this cool, and how do we like enhance this culture, you know? Really awesome stuff. And since we're talking also, there's rank costumes in here. We're not ranking Black Panther's costume because mainly the same costume.
There's
But
3.
Yeah, but
There's 4 if you count his dad's.
Sure, his dad's is.
Because that's a
different,
completely different helmet. I was like, Kaylin, it's just shame that I'm sure somebody spent hours and hours and hours on that super dope helmet for like one scene.
yeah, yeah. But even the costumes that were not Black Panther costumes look so good. Whenever T'Challa's walking around, he's got like the black Matrix robes. It's like, dude, you look so good right now.
sandals?
Heck yeah, and
Man
sandals.
after my own heart, man.
And then the just all the costumes in general,
mom.
they always looked so good and
My mom
unique
had
at
cool
the same time.
costumes.
I like M'Baku's look a lot.
Yep.
Yeah,
With the fur and
yeah.
everything. Yeah, that's cool.
Now let's rank the CGI.
Oh yeah.
Talking about costumes, talk about those Black Panther costumes, right?
Looks bad, man.
It's
Black
a shame.
Panther looks bad.
Not great.
Vibranium looks bad. Energy weapons look bad. Rhinos look bad.
Mhm.
Tomatoes look bad. So bad.
And it's crazy because like this is like the first time since, man, what would it be? Since like Thor Dark World, maybe, yeah, probably Thor Dark World, where I'm just like in an MCU movie and I'm just like, this doesn't look good at all. Like, you know, like I can imagine that one scene where it's Killmonger and Black Panther both in their suits and they're punching each other down into the mines. I'm just like, man, this doesn't look good.
The animation's wonky too, even in Korea.
Yep. So I'm gonna say the bottom
lower half, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna start from the bottom. The Incredible Hulk. It's at 17.
Not that bad.
Captain America, Thor.
It's not that bad.
Thor
not that bad.
Dark World, Thor Ragnarok, Age of Ultron,
All right.
and Iron Man 3.
Okay. It's definitely below Iron Man 3. 100%. To the death. I will fight to that.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Age of Ultron is the next one after Iron Man 3?
Mhm. I think it's under Age of
It's
Ultron.
worse. It's worse than Age of Ultron. What's below that?
Thor Ragnarok.
I think it loses because the Hulk looks freaking amazing sometimes. So it's below that.
Thor Dark World.
Okay. I think we're in the right realm.
Oh, right realm. Which one?
The ships in that look pretty awesome.
Yeah, but let's see. What CG looks good in this film?
The ships look good.
I think the city shots look good too.
Yeah, Wakanda looks great.
Yeah,
if you
like
ask
the
me.
wide shots.
And all that waterfall work.
What was that?
Below Dark World?
Thor.
It's definitely above Thor.
It's above.
All right, so it's either it's below or above Dark World. This is where we're at.
Just the aspect of the water work with all the waterfalls and everything.
Yeah, but like what looked terrible in Dark World? I think the problem with Dark World is that it just looked meh, you know? But there's stuff in Black Panther that does not look good.
I can't remember.
It's actually below.
Dude, Thor Dark World is so forgettable. I still can't remember like half that movie.
Because like the Dark Elves don't look that bad. Like they have scenes where they don't look amazing, but they never look that bad. Asgard doesn't look bad. The ships don't look bad. Yeah, I think it's below, dude. I was telling Kaylin, like, MCU needs to learn that less is more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, this is below Thor Dark World, in my opinion, because they have so much freaking CG.
Yep.
And Thor Dark World wins because it has less CG than this film. So it has less badness than this film. So I think it's below Dark World.
I'm okay with that.
I am too.
Making it the new 15.
The
Ouch.
final fight just takes you out so much.
It
dude.
does. It really does. Yeah. Now it is time to guess the Rotten Tomato score.
It's the prices. I mean, the Rotten Tomato score is right.
96.
Ooh,
94.
98.
Ooh.
Let's
I
see.
think I'm gonna nail it.
96.
I think I remember. I remember seeing this, like the Rotten Tomato score for this when it came out or around that time.
Man.
It's a
Yeah.
high one.
Movie also gets props for like all black cast other than The Hobbit
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, the two Hobbit.
and Ulysses Claw.
Yep. They there was a
Oh.
fact on here that they called them
Oh my god, The Hobbit. Martin Freeman.
Yeah,
they called them the
Okay.
tokens
yeah.
because they were the two white actors on there, like even the director, like the cat, like
Yeah.
everyone was black. And there was a quote from Bilbo. God dang it, I forgot his name.
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman. That he said that he's like, oh man, this is what black actors must feel like because they're most time surrounded by a white cast. So I'm a white guy surrounded by a black cast, and he's like, man, it's crazy. But yeah, honestly, props to that.
They're both side characters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get through some. I'm gonna do some about the Dora Milaje right now. Some marvelous facts for you.
Marvelous facts.
Thank you. The Dora Milaje translates to the Adored Ones, a group of female soldiers who protect Wakanda. In the comics, each of the tribes sends their most powerful female fighters to join the Dora Milaje Guard. Also, the Dora Milaje were cast from a pool of actresses, stunt women, and Broadway dancers, so that each individual Dora would have specialized skills that they brought to the table. The process of finding these women were so long and difficult that people in the casting department humorously dubbed the search Finding Dora.
They did an excellent job.
They did so good, dude.
These ladies are dope.
They're one of my favorite things about like the Wakandan like culture, even like that whole side of the MCU. Just like, man, they are so cool. And again,
And
they're black women warriors. It's like that is so dope, and they're so intimidating yet so like still like I guess just is the right word for it, where it's like you know that they're going to do the right thing, but if you're there to mess around, you better watch out because they are formidable
and
warriors.
Okoye
Yeah,
is freaking
it's
legit, dude.
the when I
I was
think of like,
telling she has I'm sorry, real quick. She
No,
has that
go ahead.
one scene in like the Korean casino,
Uh-huh.
and I'm pretty sure it's her. Like it's not a stunt double. It's her doing all these freaking like spear work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn, I told Kaylin, it's like with this and what she learned in The Walking Dead, like give this woman any kind of stick and she could beat the crap out of
Oh my
anybody.
god, I completely forgot she was in The Walking Dead. Heck yeah.
So she's freaking awesome, dude. Also, now that I didn't know that they were chosen like from the best of the tribe, because that actually helps explain her backstory. Because she's in love with that guy from the border tribe, which means that she is most likely from the border tribe.
That's true. That's a good point. I didn't think
Rhino,
about that.
dude.
Rhino, dude.
Yeah, because the rhino even like recognizes her and likes her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Speaking about tribes, here's another marvelous fact. Additionally,
Eric had something he was gonna say.
oh, sorry, did I cut you off?
That's okay. No, it just because they introduced the Dora Milaje, like when I think about different aspects or factions like who would you want backing you, or like who would win in this kind of fight, I always think of like the Black Widows, or like other elite, like the Hand, or I just think of those things, and I'm like, when I think of the Dora Milaje, I was like, man, like I think I would go with them most of the time. Like they are so like good at what they do.
They're
Like I could,
coordinated too.
yeah. So like even Black Widows, I'm just like, I don't think Black Widows could take on the Dora Milaje.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Agreed.
it's super cool.
Yeah, because even another thing is that the Black Widows are also, or not Black Widows, they're also like physically imposing, which is cool for female characters, because like they're all tall, and or for the most part, and then yeah, they're just all freaking like jacked, and
then-
it's like
Also, commitment to the actresses. They actually all did really shave their heads.
Yeah.
So,
and that just adds to
awesome.
the like, man, these ladies are hard, man.
yeah, honestly, yeah. Speaking about the tribes, additionally, the color. Sorry. The film majorly uses the colors black, red, and green, the traditional colors in African culture. Additionally, the color blue is commonly used in Western/European culture, is used to represent the outsiders or out-of-place elements in Wakanda, such as the alien metal has a blue glow. Claw, Ross, and Killmonger, foreigners to Wakanda, all wear blue cloths at some point in the film. Wakabi and the Border Tribe have a blue uniform. Wakabi turns against T'Challa. M'Baku's lair is set in the mountains amidst a blue sky. That one's a stretch. But
blue night sky.
Shuri's laboratory features a blue display. She stands out as being an engineering genius. And when Ramonda goes to the Jabari for asylum, she wears a blue cloth.
Cool. I definitely vibe with the Jabari more than like anybody else in that country.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
I hope we get to
M'Baku's
see
tribe.
more of it. And you know what? Speaking of that, let's throw one more in here. After the climatic battle scene, there's a quick shot of the Elders' Room. M'Baku is seen amongst the other tribe leaders. This shows that T'Challa united all 5 tribes of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Which is dope.
I love that they also have their own god. Like it's just super cool. Hey, M'Baku's intro is just so great,
So
dude.
good, dude.
It's so great, dude.
Yeah. I forgot
Also,
his
like,
intro too, dude.
Attainable, like male body. Like I love that as well. Like he's not like The Rock or freaking Chris Hemsworth. He's just like, like somebody you would expect to see in like a well, I don't know about heavyweight boxing, but just a good fighter.
Mhm.
He's not trying to say that actor didn't put the time in.
No, I'm saying
no.
I think he's great. Like I believe that he would
Yeah.
kick booty.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize it, but he fights with the exact same weapon that Boba does in the Boba and the
Mhm.
Sand People do.
Mhm.
So that was
Gaffy
absolutely
sticks.
yeah, absolutely inspired by African culture.
Yep. The one you guys were talking about earlier. Let's talk about the soundtrack.
High, dude. It's gonna be super high, dude.
Honestly, so when I first watched this movie and everyone's like, "Oh my god, the soundtrack's so cool," I was like, "They're like, oh yeah, it's got Kendrick and it's got The Weeknd," and I'm not a huge fan of either of those artists. So I was like, eh. But and then watching the movie, I'm like, dude, beyond that, take Kendrick and Weeknd out. There is so much good. Like there's one scene when T'Challa is talking to his dad in like the the spiritual realm or
Astral
whatever.
plane.
Astral plane, and they
The
have
first
like
time and the
this
second time.
this violin in it that's just like it sets the mood so perfectly. And that was just the one that I like wrote down in my notes. Then there's also like a whole bunch of like there's an African style song during the fight in the casino that was also so dope. It's like the outside of the artists that we know, the soundtrack is just amazing. I completely agree now.
Yeah, it it's one of the few Marvel movies when I saw in theaters where I was at the point of chills when the music would like hit certain songs. Like that's the first time I heard that song by The Weeknd, and when that came on, I was just like, man, I don't know what this is, but like I am feeling this. And they're just like walking through, and I'm like, man, so cool.
Yeah, other than Guardians, it's the only other song where actually movie where I actually listened to the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say the top four: Guardians, Avengers, Homecoming, and Iron Man. I think it's above one of those, right?
It's definitely not above Guardians. Just Guardians
Yeah,
is too
yeah.
iconic.
Mhm.
And then it's Avengers and Iron Man.
Avengers, Homecoming, Iron Man, and then Thor Ragnarok is number 5.
With Spider-Man, we got Blitzkrieg Bop,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a
Spider
couple
Man's
other
theme
things
is
there.
pretty good.
Yep.
And then there's
Yeah.
Underdog by Spoon. But yeah, like Winston was saying, it's like just the soundtrack, the orchestral, the African orchestral music is just so awesome and just sets the mood so well. And so many songs do it too. Like it's
Yep.
not just the one Wakanda theme.
Nope.
Like, so I think it's below Guardians.
Right below Guardians. What was 2?
Avengers.
Like Avengers has the Avengers theme and it has one AC/DC song and that's it.
Avengers theme is so good, dude. It's iconic,
Yeah,
and
but
it's
it's one, dude. It's
I know.
one theme.
What do you think, Eric?
And it's like you're right, like you could do the Avengers theme and everybody would know Avengers. But like if you did a couple of the themes in this song, people would be like Black Panther. Like there's the Weekend thing that Eric's talking about. Like if we played that to random people, it'd be like, oh yeah, that's Black Panther. Then there's the Wakandan theme with the chanting, which is super Black Panther. Then there's another one with the drums, which is like also Black Panther. It's a lot of good stuff, man.
I'm still putting it under Avengers. I just that the Avengers theme song is just so iconic, and every time I hear it, it's like that is the MCU in my mind.
I kind of agree with you. That's why it's so high on the list right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, sorry, Nate.
I'm
we're gonna.
I'm not mad that it's number 3.
It's number 3.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's still super good. Another marvelous fact.
Marvelous fact.
Thank you. The Black Panther was created in July 1966, 2 months before the founding of the Black Panther Party. Many people mistakenly assume that the name refers to the party, so the character was renamed the Black Leopard. However, neither the readers nor the creators cared for that title, and it didn't last long. However, the Black Leopard name gets a nod from T'Challa's battle paint at his inaugurational fight.
Are you sure that that's what that paint is a nod to?
No.
That sounds very bullcrap.
Yeah, it does sound like bullcrap.
In fact, that sounds so bullcrap. It should not have been included in our episode.
Mainly, I wanted to put that Black
Everything
Panther
else.
is not
Yeah.
named after the party,
Yes,
which
that's-
I was like, oh, that's interesting. I thought it totally was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I ever thought about it, but I definitely think like, oh yeah, like those things are connected for
Mhm.
sure,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not.
And since Eric's actually going to be coming into town, and we're actually going to be watching Thor: Love and Thunder. Hit subscribe to watch that review. We're going to be
Good one,
watching
dude.
it.
I heard rumors from pre-screeners that Gore, the God Killer, played by
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, is like one of the new best villains, like the new number 1 villain
God,
potentially.
I sure
I hear
hope
the-
so.
I hear the
sure
same
hope
thing.
So. But speaking of the Alamo, screenings at the Alamo included a PSA in which Chadwick Boseman stares straight at the camera, warns the audience not to talk or use their phones during the movie, and says that he is always watching. after the credits roll and the post-credit scene play, the screen would go black for a few seconds, then suddenly cut to a quick extreme close-up of Bozeman yelling at the audience, "I'm still watching!"
That's so great. I wish I would have seen that.
Yeah,
That's
right?
so
That's
awesome.
awesome.
They didn't have a Alamo in our area when this movie came out, but
I don't
now
think
they
that's
do.
true.
I think there was the one in
Denver,
like downtown
Stones
Denver,
Lake.
but the Westminster, yeah. And I don't like going in that neighborhood where that Alamo
It's
is.
not that bad, bro.
It's Colfax, bro.
Dude, that's like 2 blocks away from like where I live.
Is it?
Dude, it is not far at all. I'm on 20. It's 4 blocks. I'm on 20th, and I think Colfax is like 16th.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways,
I got pho there once.
you got pho at the Alamo?
Colfax,
Oh, on Colfax, yeah.
like the right next to my house.
What action sequence
Oh
should
god,
we
people are
rank?
gonna know where I live now.
Oh yeah. He's 4 blocks away from Colfax.
Okay.
We got to spread out.
There's somewhere in this certain state.
He's
I'm
on
not going to repeat it
20th.
right now, but we've said it before. And then he lives somewhere on Colfax.
I
There's
think Colfax is actually a pretty common street name.
yeah, and there's thousands of people in that area, bro. Okay. What action sequence are we ranking?
It's hard, dude.
It is
Both
really hard.
of the trial by combats are really good.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think we should do one of those.
I feel like the first one.
Yeah, with M'Baku.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more towards the second one because it's got Killmonger and he shines in it. But
Which one's more entertaining to watch, though?
yeah, I think you guys are right. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with the one with M'Baku. So where should I start? I'm feeling like, I don't know, kind of middle.
It's
Middle area.
good, but it's not like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Very technical.
Yes.
Oh.
All right, let's start with number 6, Ultron, Hulk versus Tony. Is it better than that?
No.
Okay,
No.
so let's go down from there. Number 7 is Doctor Strange, Strange versus Caecilius.
Possibly.
It might be
Possibly.
better than that. What's the next one?
Yeah.
Then one under that is Ant-Man, the train fight.
Yeah, it's definitely in this range right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The thing about the train fight and Caecilius is that they're both super creative fights, and they're really cool, the stuff that they do in them. What's below train fight?
Guardians, the final fight.
Again, like the final fight, it's got Groot does his thing.
Yeah, it's so diverse. So
It's-
many different people
Yeah,
play.
it's below those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
Guardians 2, Yondu and Rocket.
I think it's better than that. I think that one's overrated. Like that
Okay.
one's good, but it's very simple. All right, I think we should rate Winston's fight with his sneezes.
Coronavirus.
COVID.
No, just coronavirus.
Oh, because
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go. Yeah, no one else is gonna get that joke, but yeah, thank you. I agree. Yeah, Yondu and Rocket is good, and I loved it, and it's super entertaining. But just as a fight in general, I think this one is better.
Yeah, I feel like it's less of a fight than just people
Yondu
dying all over
murdering
the
a bunch
place. yeah.
So that makes it the new number 10, right in the middle.
Okay.
Well,
Right in the middle.
almost middle.
This thing, the fight scenes get trolled by the freaking bad CG. Our
Honestly.
2 favorite fight scenes are 2 fight scenes with next to no CG in them.
Yep.
Not
Okay.
next to no, but significantly less than the other.
So sometimes when I'm watching these movies, I'm like, I think about like, especially when they have like a deeper tone to them, like Civil War, like this one. I'm like, all right, what is the message behind this movie? And I was like, for me in particular, this is still a debate, but I'm like, I think this story is about tradition and fathers, because tradition, we've got Killmonger and T'Challa. T'Challa, at first, he's all like, no, we have to follow tradition. We have to do things the way that they've always been done because that works. And then we have Killmonger, and he disrupts that, and he's like, no, F your tradition. You guys left me out here. Now I'm going to make the rules, and we're starting from scratch. Who cares what you guys did before? I'm not doing that, you know? And there's also like Shuri in there being like, hey, like we should progress things and everything. And at the end, of course, they do move on. They create a new tradition, if you will. And then also a father's, because it's T'Chaka and his brother. It's because of what they did that affected Killmonger and his cousin T'Challa. So I'm like, that's where I'm at. But what do you guys think on that?
So should we add brothers to the mix too? Because
Well, brothers, you mean cousins?
no, with T'Chaka and his brother, and then him ending up
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, that
sibling rivalry, if you will.
I don't know. I feel like that
Or-
that was a consequence.
Family reunions.
Family
Family reunions.
That is a good one, actually. I kind of like that one. But also, like, when they go with M'Baku, like, that's breaking tradition. He's like, no king has come here for thousands of years.
Hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years?
He
Is that what you
says
said?
he says centuries.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think he said 200 years.
I think he said centuries.
Rewatch.
we
right
have
now.
to go back. We'll finish the review later. But I'm like, that's another thing. And then eventually he brings M'Baku into the center circle of Wakanda as well. So I don't know. I feel like that was a big thing. And also in the movie in general, like taking a step back from it, it's also a great like nod, and they treat African culture with such respect in this movie. And so that's kind of also part of tradition and everything. So they get to actually have a great platform to display that for people like me, who I'm not very well versed in that.
Please, all those watching this video, go ahead and comment. What do you think this movie is about?
Yeah.
Fathers? Family reunions? It's up to you. Let us know.
I think the main theme is just
Panthers.
marrying Black culture and African culture, because that's not also the same thing. Like that's such a big thing. Like it's not just African Americans. It's not just African. It's not like African is it's a continent.
Yep.
It's marrying that with, you know, the hurt that the world has put on them, and it's how can we do that in a healthy way, you know? Because that's Killmonger's whole thing. Is it's like he just wants to wipe the floor with everybody, which is a very common sentiment and an understandable sentiment. And then, although Wakanda is a fictional place, and you know there is no Black utopia, there's still so much that culture has to offer.
Yep.
And how do we celebrate that and marry that with what the world has, without whitewashing it, without destroying it, or without, you know, losing it as well? And I think that's the main theme of the film, in my opinion. And at the end kind of sums it up. Like it's a difficult road to go down. It's a tight balance to do.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, another marvelous fact is T'Challa plans for Wakanda to send weapons to London, New York, and Hong Kong.
Not T'Challa.
Killmonger.
I said Killmonger.
Yeah, you said T'Challa.
Oh, sorry, Killmonger.
I was like, why would he do that?
Njadaka, who also has a cool name. He should go by his African name more because
Yeah.
it's cool to say.
The site of attacks from otherworldly beings. The Chitauri attacked New York and the Avengers.
The Dark
Elves attacked London in Dark World, and Dormammu invaded Hong Kong in Stranger Things. Additionally,
I
in
forgot that was in Hong
Stranger
Kong.
Things, in Doctor Strange. Wow, jeez.
Dude, Doctor Strange and Stranger Things, that kind of fits actually.
Additionally, in Doctor Strange, a sanctum is located in each of the 3 said cities.
That's right.
And again, as is tradition, I don't know why I left this one for last, but this is the last marvelous facts for you. At the end of the chase scene in Busan, Claw repeatedly uses his arm cannon to cause impressive damage and attacks. Every time he does, it makes the same noise as one of Iron Man's repulsor weapons. It's possible that the sound effect is intentional, since Claw originally did business with Tony Stark in his arms manufacturing days,
I
and he
thought
might
said
have
he never,
reversed
he never
engineered.
did business with him. I thought Tony says that. Like, I never sold to him, but I met him at conventions.
It's true.
I don't think they ever worked together.
Well, this
Another
theory
one of
is
your
that
bullcrap facts. I'm gonna call them out when
dude,
they're
it's
like,
fine. It's fine.
when it's like, who knows? It's like, okay, fine. But when it's like, no, but actually, Winston.
I got this. Not so marvelous fact.
There you go.
Thanks. They're saying that he might have reverse engineered Tony Stark's arm cannon.
Okay. So just take out the Tony Stark doing dealings with him,
Yeah.
because that never happened, as far as I know. Maybe
Look, I
Obadiah
look over
did
them.
deals with him.
I have to get all these in like 30 minutes, okay? I look through like hundreds of facts, okay? And I have to water it down. And I'm like, hey, this sounds cool. Let's put it in the podcast.
All right,
Maybe it'll
I'm
be a
gonna
nice
give you
bump.
I'll give you two little suggestions. One, think about what your last fact is going to be before the podcast starts, so you can end on a bang. That, I feel like that's an easier one. And two, if possible, I don't know how you compile them. Send them to me, and I can vet them for you.
I'll try. Maybe
If possible.
we'll get a Google Doc open for that.
There we go. I'm fine with it. Because I'll know our podcast is coming. Let me look at the facts. Crap. Let's roll.
But then you won't have that genuine reaction, you know? You won't be surprised.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. But it's not. It's
I
not
can act
about.
doubly surprised.
Are the facts for us, or are they for the audience?
A little bit of both.
Well, I think in the spirit of not giving garbage facts, I will take the bullet.
Okay. Now let's rank the after credit scene.
What are we doing?
I don't know, because I like the first
Bucky
one.
Or...
I like the first one more, but
What's the first one? I already forgot the first one.
it's him revealing to the world that Wakanda is
yeah,
not
yeah.
staying in the shadows and everything. Also, quick side note: I never realized that what Shuri says to him in the second after credit scene is exactly what the Russians say. She's like, "Good morning. How are you feeling?" And then she's like, "Get ready, soldier," or something like that. So it's the exact same words that the Russians used when they were brainwashing him.
The Hydra, you mean?
Yes, Hydra, but he was.
I guess he was Russian, but
It was a
think other
Russian.
people-
Russian.
Soviet.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, after credit scene. Which one are we doing? What do you guys think?
I have no idea. They're both kind of meh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I kind of think it's
I feel like there's a little, just a teeny, tweeny, tiny bit of hype that Bucky's back, but like that's it.
yeah. I feel like the Bucky one maybe a little
Okay.
bit more.
Okay, we'll do that one then.
Oh, Bucky.
I also feel like you can totally see his arm in his robes. His missing arm in his robes. Like
So,
you can
like-
just see he's like doing this. No, it's not even this. It's like this.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm gonna start from the bottom because it's not that great. We have 17 Captain America Avengers trailer. It's definitely above that.
Yeah, that's it. Number one.
The Duck from Guardians.
Howard.
That one's insulting.
Iron Man 3 therapy session.
That one's just dumb.
Guardians 2 Adam Warlock. Iron Man 2 the Hammer. And then Ragnarok Thanos ship. I think he goes under that for
Okay.
sure.
I mean, I think there's argument for Under the Hammer.
Yeah.
Like it's literally just Bucky's cured. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with
I
that.
think it goes
Under the Hammer?
Let's do it.
Okay. Making it the new number
Like the head of a nail.
number
Make it
14. That's
Make it so.
All right, Eric. It is your time to shine.
It's my time to shine.
Where do you put
love that you hate yourself every time you do it.
Everybody makes me hate myself. I didn't used to hate myself when I did voices. It would just
thing is-
happen. It would just happen. And
It
then
hurts feelings, bro. You're hurting feelings.
in today's world, it hurts
I don't
feelings.
talk like that.
I feel like back when I was messing around with all my voices and stuff, it wasn't that big a deal. But in the world we live in now, it's a big deal.
Well, it's because
Leave a comment. Do you care?
A lot of people use them in a derogatory way. Is the thing.
Exactly.
You don't. That's
And
not
the
your
thing is,
intention. But
It did hurt feelings back then as well. They just didn't say anything.
anyways, Eric, where do you put Black Panther in the MCU? Would you like me to say your top 8, maybe?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Avengers,
Let's do that there then.
Guardians, Iron Man, Thor Ragnarok, Civil War, Winter Soldier, Homecoming, and Doctor Strange.
Let's put it above Doctor Strange.
Wow, so right under Homecoming.
Yeah.
Making it the new number 8 for Eric. Interesting. Nate, it is your time to shine. Where do you put the Black Panther in the MCU? I will say your top 8 as well.
I gotta do that. I gotta do that next time.
Civil War, Winter Soldier, The Avengers, Iron Man, Guardians, Thor Ragnarok, Homecoming, and Ant-Man.
Okay. It's above Homecoming.
Okay.
It's above Ragnarok. I
Okay.
think it's right there.
Right there under Guardians?
Guardians is really good, bro. Like,
Guardians
this
is
is a good
awesome.
movie, but
Mhm.
Guardians is really good.
Making it the new number 6 for Nate. Now, you guys have to tell me it's my time to shine.
It's your time to shine,
It's your
Pooh
time
Bear.
to shine.
Thank you. I am going to rank Black Panther in the MCU, and for my list, I am going to put it. Right.
Well, you have to say your list,
Okay,
and then
okay,
just rank where you
okay.
put it.
My
Say it
my
until
8.
you get to it.
Okay, so it's Civil War, Winter Soldier, The Avengers, Iron Man, Guardians, Homecoming,
Killmonger doesn't take it over
Black
Homecoming?
Panther, Doctor Strange.
Dang, so it's like 8, 7, 6. I think that's how we have it ranked right now. Because you have it 7, I think I have it 6, and Eric has it 8th.
Okay.
It's like descending order of whiteness.
Wow.
I mean, it's right though.
Not lying. Okay. Now, Those Who Geek MCU list
I
is
really liked my joke.
Civil War, Winter Soldier, Avengers, Iron Man, Guardians, Thor Ragnarok, Homecoming, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Guardians Volume 2, Age of Ultron, Captain America, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor, and way down at the bottom, Thor Dark World, and The Incredible Hulk. Gentlemen, where are we ranking the Black Panther in the MCU?
Yeah, I put it in the same spot above Ragnarok.
Above Ragnarok, right under Guardians.
I would put it right above Doctor Strange still.
Under Homecoming. I have to agree that it's better than Ragnarok, so it's going right under Guardians.
All right.
Making it the new number 6 in the
Just
MCU.
outside of the top 5.
Like
Which,
I
I mean,
said, like
it's
I
a
said.
good movie, but the top 5 is the top 5.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
really good movies.
They are, yeah. Guardians, Iron Man, Avengers, Winter Soldier, Civil War. Like, that is what the MCU has to offer.
Cultural phenomenons and
Yeah.
cinema masterpieces.
Yeah. But speaking of top 5 MCU movies, Eric, what is the next movie?
Why don't you give us our next
we're
number
revisiting?
1?
Next number 1.
Honestly.
The next movie we will be
In a
discussing
couple spots.
on Marvel Revisited will be Infinity War. War.
Avengers Infinity War.
Avengers. I didn't even. Is it an Avengers movie?
Yes, it is.
Is it an Avengers movie?
Is it? Well, man, I don't remember
Is
because
it an Avengers movie?
so is
Right.
Endgame an Avengers movie as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think they were, Eric?
I didn't know if Infinity War was its own thing, and then Endgame was the Avengers
Oh,
movie.
bro, they're
No.
both Avengers movie. That's
All
why Avengers isn't going to be part of the. Was it the
Trilogies.
trilogy? Because it's got
Trilogy.
4. It's
All right.
the rare 4-parter.
Let me give you the full spiel again.
Okay.
Next time on Marvel Revisited, we will be discussing Avengers Infinity War.
I hope they remember you.
Oh, hype.
Heck yeah.
When are we doing this podcast? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Sometime
feel
next
like
week, though, for sure.
No. Let's figure it out. So we can watch it tomorrow. Can we do it Tuesday?
I can, I think.
I can.
Gonna make me watch that? Like, you want to do it tomorrow?
You want watch it tomorrow? We'll do the podcast Tuesday.
You don't want to watch Infinity War, bro?
It's so much death.
Yeah,
But it's so good.
it's so good, Death.
It's so good, death. I can try to make it happen.
Okay. I mean, if you can't, I get it. But if you can, that'd be dope.
That doesn't matter to you guys because you probably will be watching after. You obviously will be watching after we record, anyways. So
That'd be cool.
Speaking of
because then
which,
we might get like Black Panther next week and Infinity War next week potentially.
that would be dope. That would be dope. Thank you for watching, of course. Nate, you do your thing. I'm not gonna try anymore. If you know anybody.
Oh yeah. If you thank you. All right. Let's see. If you know anybody
They can take their arm off.
that has eaten a flower, any kind of flower,
That's a good. I like that.
you know,
Have you eaten a flower? If not, like go outside and eat a flower, bro. Then watch our
Dandelion.
podcast.
now that I'm thinking about it, what are flowers that we eat?
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Is cauliflower technically a flower?
No, I don't think so.
It's in the name.
Vegetable.
Come on.
I think some spices are flowers. Like I think saffron is a flower. How often you guys eating saffron?
I don't even know what that is, bro.
Look, it's a
Basil's
spice.
from a plant,
Yeah, but
so
it's not a
I mean, does
flower.
that
No, look
There's a
this
lot
up.
of things from plants. Doesn't mean they're flowers.
Edible flowers.
some of them bloom? Come on.
Chamomile?
Chamomile, yeah, teas. A lot of teas. Chamomile's
Onion?
absolutely. Anise. Anise is a flower. So
Oh,
Anise.
not anise.
star anise. You don't like star anise?
I don't like anus.
All right. Well, anybody that's had chamomile tea or star anise, yeah, watch it. There's a dude that eats a flower in this, so you'll like it.
You
I
will.
think there's a couple dudes that eat a flower in this.
There's several flowers eaten. Yeah.
And drink.
Drink. It's cool purple liquid.
Yeah.
Like it tastes
It
pretty
looks
good.
like mercury, but it's purple. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Chop it, smash it, put it in a stew.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Until next time, have a marvelous day and stay frosty.
Bye bye. Wakanda forever.